What's going on? It's Fight Season MMA, and today I want to make a video talking about Jon Jones's recent Instagram post where he said he's going to be headlining UFC Madison Square Garden, UFC 309, presumably for Stipe Miocic, but we'll get into that as well. Let's jump right into the video. And first off, I want to say before getting into the video, if you enjoy the content, please subscribe. 99% of the people who watch the content aren't subscribed, and subscribing is the best way to help the channel. So please subscribe if you enjoy and you want to hear about more UFC content. Let's get right into the video. So recently, Jon Jones posted on Instagram saying, "Red Corner, my office, November 9th," and this would point to him fighting at UFC Madison Square Garden at UFC 309, presumably versus Stipe Miocic. We all know that Jon Jones has been going after this fight with Stipe just since he wants to become the greatest heavyweight of all time, and we all know that this isn't the way to do that. Yes, Stipe is considered the greatest heavyweight of all time by most, but he is an older fighter right now. He's probably, I think, 42 years old, where Jon Jones is still 36 years old. He's had a long fighting career, but Stipe Miocic is not the same fighter he used to. In his last fight, which was over 3 years ago, he fought Francis Ngannou, where he was knocked out in that fight pretty quickly. Stipe Miocic isn't the same fighter. You look at him and Jon Jones' inactivity, and Stipe has one fight in the past 4 years, and there's a stat that I just saw on Twitter where Stipe Miocic has not beat anyone inside the UFC currently. Everyone is either retired outside the UFC or just not even fighting anymore, and Jon Jones has only beat Cyril Gane in the past 4 years, and before that was Dominic Reyes, where he ultimately possibly lost that fight. But he beat Cyril Gane in amazing fashion, but that was because that Cyril Gane wasn't a grappler. But ultimately, I do think that Jon Jones should fight someone like Tom Aspinall at UFC 309 if he does come out and beat Curtis Blaydes, or he should fight Alex Pereira. Either one of those fights would be the biggest fight you can make. In regard to Tom Aspinall is such a good fighter. You look at his speed, his jiu-jitsu ability, his IQ, and his wrestling is something that Jon Jones will have a hard time with. Not saying that he can't beat Jon Jones, but it's going to be something where it's going to be very, very hard for Jones to be able to get in and abuse Tom Aspinall like some of these other fighters like Cyril Gane or Alexander Volkov. Those two he could get in there and abuse and take down. But against someone like Tom Aspinall, who's bigger than him, stronger than him, and probably stronger than him and faster than him, is going to be something that Jon Jones has never faced in the UFC. He's usually always the bigger opponent. But guess what? Tom Aspinall in this stance would be bigger than Jon Jones. His height, his reach, and his just weight would be bigger than Jon Jones naturally. And I think that that's something that would give Tom Aspinall a massive advantage over someone like Jon Jones. But in regards to Alex Pereira, this fight is a lot easier for Jon Jones, but Jon Jones cannot mess around with Alex Pereira on the feet, because you see that left hook coming from absolutely nowhere, and Jon Jones will get knocked out if he gets touched. Now, the only thing that I think is really a big thing for Jon Jones is if he shoots a takedown and Alex Pereira lands a flying knee, that would be something absolutely insane to happen. I think Jon Jones is going to have to grapple with Alex Pereira. There's no way Jon Jones could stand with Alex Pereira. If this was a kickback boxing match, I would have Alex Pereira by KO in the first round, but this is a mixed martial arts fight where Jon Jones can take down, he can wrestle, he can use his jiu-jitsu ability, and he can use his bigger stance, a bigger frame and bigger size than someone like Alex Pereira. You look at Alex Pereira's size as a light heavyweight, and he was definitely a bigger light heavyweight than Jon Jones, but Jon Jones has had time to bulk up to the heavyweight division, and Alex Pereira hasn't had that time. So I think that Jon Jones would have a strength advantage on the ground in the grappling department, but as well, Jon Jones would have a strength in every single category within the octagon with Alex Pereira. But I just want to end off with my official prediction between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic, because I'm assuming that is the fight that is going to happen. And I have Jon Jones by second round submission. I truly think that Jon Jones is going to be able to get in there and kind of ragdoll Stipe to a certain degree. I think Stipe has had such a long time outside the octagon that it's going to really affect him once he steps in versus someone like Jon Jones, whose fighting IQ is massive, and fighting IQ is so large, and he is so well-rounded in every single category in the UFC octagon. Ultimately, there's no way I see Stipe Miocic winning this fight, although Stipe is a dog, so I could see him pulling it out somehow, but I just can't see it. I see it in my brain of how he could win, but I can't see there's a way that he could win, if that makes any sense, because Stipe is just slow, he's old, he's tired, and I don't think he wants to fight anymore besides this paycheck against Jon Jones and for the legacy. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fight Season MMA. If you guys enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe down below. Subscribing and liking the videos is the best way to show support. Also, if you want to drop a comment down below about my take and what your opinion is of it, I do my best to respond to as many comments as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and I will catch you guys very, very, very soon.